Well, we are under a minute to go here. And both teams heading to the benches. This is the one that people have been talking about, and we are under a minute away from its tip-off. So with that, we will step away as they prepare for the national anthem. We'll be back for Middleton and Rigby right after this. We're back to Timberline High School as the starting lineups are being introduced for the Rigby Trojans and the Middleton Vikings. We can't stress it enough. This is the game that everybody circled on their 4A bracket. The undefeated co-number 1 Rigby Trojans taking on co-number 1 18-2 regular season record Middleton Vikings in a game that a lot of people think should be seeded. And if you look at the lower half of the bracket at the 4A tournament, 4 of the top 5 teams will find themselves in the bottom half of the bracket, starting with these two, co-number 1s, Rigby and Middleton, followed by number 2, Preston, or 3 rather, and Twin Falls. All 4 teams in the bottom half of the bracket ranked in the final postseason top 5, with the lone ranked team, the Wood River Wolverines, sitting atop on the upper side of the bracket. They won earlier this afternoon. They beat Mountain Home 48-43. And in the second game, Bishop Kelly beats Moscow 36-27. So our first semifinal is set. It's going to be Bishop Kelly taking on Wood River. And then the second semifinal will feature the winner of this game, Rigby or Middleton, taking on the winner of Preston and Twin Falls. And that game coming up on Idaho Sports starting at 8 o'clock. As we look to the starting lineups for Rigby, they will start number 21, Courtney Neild, number 11, Caitlin Kinghorn, number 10, Megan Olafson, number 3, Haley Larson, and Cree Phillips. For Middleton, Taylor Simmons, Kendra Lim, Maddie Land, the senior, Drake Tullock. And this is a Middleton team that has 4 seniors on the roster. And it's a basketball factory in Middleton as they churn out teams year after year. And this year it could be one of their best. We are moments away from the tip-off. Rigby and Middleton, Scott Burton, Mike Savage. And on the scorebook tonight is little sister, my little sister Kimber.
And don't forget all the people tuning in to watch us, Scott.
And to all the people watching Idaho Sports. This should be a dandy. Middleton will be the home team on the scoreboard wearing their white uniforms. Rigby, the visitors. And here we go. We are underway. Tip controlled by Rigby. This is Larson running the show. To Phillips. Shot no good, but rebound offensively by Rigby. Middleton in their man-to-man defense. You'll see mostly man from Middleton. Olafson shot no good. Another offensive rebound, still not controlled, and out of bounds, last touched by Middleton. Heady play by Cree Phillips for Rigby as they maintain possession. Just underway, 7:29 left to go here in the opening quarter. We're scoreless.
A couple wild shots to start off there, but we talked about it before. Girls can get pretty nervous here.
Here's the steal. This is Simmons, and she'll go the distance and lay it up and in. That's Taylor Simmons with the steal. And Middleton strikes first, courtesy of their defense. 2-0 Middleton. We've got a packed house here at Timberline. This is Neild. knocked away, loose ball, controlled, still not controlled. And Middleton finally comes away with it. That's Tolak. And here come the Vikings. On the left wing, this is Lim. Right side to Simmons. Simmons looking inside. She missed Tolak. And this is Hopkins. Back to Lim. Inside to Tolak. Tolak gets close to the bucket. And she is fouled. Tolak steps to the line. Shooting two. DeRay Tolak, a 6-foot freshman. You heard me right, a 6-foot freshman, DeRay Tolak.
You always like to see that on the roster.
Big time player, misses her first free throw. And I tell you what, there's another girl from Middleton that's going to come off the bench that might be one of the finest athletes I've ever seen. And that's Maya Ayu. Tolak misses them both. The score still 2-0. Middleton, and here's another steal. This one by Simmons. But she turns it over, the ball still loose. Land able to come up with it. Kendra Lim running the show for the Middleton Vikings in a 1-4 offensive set. Having some trouble on the wing. Great defense on the wing by Rigby. Applying the pressure was Megan Olafson. And Lim could not find an open Viking turnover to Rigby. 2-0 Middleton. 5:53 left in the opening period. This is Larson. Pick and roll knocked away. Gathered by Rigby. This is Neal. And Rigby will reset with Haley Larson. To Kinghorn. And we've got a travel being whistled. This is Courtney Neal for the travel. Turnover back to Middleton. Two 2-0 Middleton with the early lead. 5:20 left in the opening period. In the corner is Simmons. She drives baseline, has nowhere to go, kicks it out to Tolak. Her jumper no good. A rebound by Cree Phillips for Rigby. Larson and the Trojans going to have to deal with that Middleton perimeter pressure, as defensively you will not find a better team around than the Middleton Vikings, and they cause another turnover.
Fast and furious start to the game here.
And here is the one that we've been talking about. This is Maya Ayu. Maya Ayu, the sophomore, checks into the ballgame. And this is Ayu. Three-point shot by Simmons, and no good. Rebound to Rigby, and here they come on the run. This is Larson. Decides to pull it out and set up the offense. Kinghorn shot no good. Tracked down by Cree Phillips. Inside to Kinghorn. Her shot is good, and we're tied at 2. Kinghorn with the left hand ties the ball game. 2-2 Middleton. Rigby. 4:15 left in the opening period. This is Ayu. Guarded by Cree Phillips. Inside to Maddie Land. She kicks it back out, and we have another turnover. A travel called against Kenna Hopkins. There's been a lot of turnovers start this game, Mike.
Yes, there has. Like it started to say earlier, fast and furious, everything we expected it to be. Two teams that are certainly going to get after each other here. Defensive pressure end to end.
And a little jitters on both sides, as I think they realize the magnitude of this game. A lot of people calling this the state championship game right here. Three-point shot by Olsen, no good. Rebound to Simmons. Here come the Lady Vikings, Ayu. And we're going to have an offensive foul on Maddie Land, the senior. Great defense by Rigby. And there were some people talking in the basketball circles that Middleton was going to run away with this just because they have played such superior competition. Cree Phillips down low is going to get fouled by IU. But so far to start the ball game, Rigby has answered the call. They are not intimidated by this Middleton Viking team. Middleton with a ton of experience at the state tournament year after year after year. In fact, have won 2 of the last 3 state championships. This is not unfamiliar territory for them. Cree Phillips misses her first shot. 3:36 left in the opening quarter. We're tied at 2.
Yeah, that's sometimes something that doesn't get enough credit for teams. If you've got the experience of being here, that's a big plus on your side.
Cree Phillips misses them both, and we remain deadlocked. 2 apiece. This is IU. Nice crossover dribble, gets herself into traffic, and picks up a foul. Fortunate for IU because she dribbled into trouble. Second team foul against Rigby. Foul called against Haley Larson, her first. Middleton inbound the ball, little alley-oop to IU, the athlete. Her jumper is good. 4-2 Middleton. Now Rigby. This is Furness. To Neild. This is Furness again. Looking inside, turns down the shot. Rigby, not a lot of fluency right now offensively, and we're going to get a moving screen on Rigby. Desiree Nielsen, I believe, getting called for the foul. That's her first third-team foul against Rigby. Four to 2 Middleton. Inside goes Hopkins, and she's going to draw the foul. Correction, jump ball possession arrow to the Middleton Vikings. So no foul on the previous play. Middleton with possession in a 2-point lead. This is Kendra Lim. Tries to hand it off to IU, but was a little late with the handoff. Turnover to Rigby, and they'll run. This is Larson. Over to Kinghorn. Back to Larson. On the left side to Furness. Kinghorn. Toes on the line. That's a 2-point shot. Back iron won't go. Tracked down by Furness, but she stepped on the sideline. Middleton basketball. Checking into the ball game for Rigby, number 10, Megan Olafson, the senior. Four to 2. Middleton with the lead. 2 minutes, 10 seconds left in the opening quarter. 3-point shot by Simmons. It's good. 7 to 2, Middleton. And here's the double team and that pressure defense by the Middleton Vikings. We got a timeout taken by Rigby. With the executive director of the Idaho High School Activities Association, John Billits, about the seeding of the basketball tournament. You don't want to miss that. Rigby with the basketball. They trail it by 5. 3-point shot by Olafson. Won't fall. Last touch by Rigby. Middleton basketball. 7 to 2. A minute and a half left in the opening quarter. Middleton leading by 5. This is Simmons to IU to Edwards. 3-point shot doesn't find anything by IU, but last touch by Rigby. Middleton will retain possession underneath their own basket. Kinghorn and Neal check back in for Rigby. Inbounds play, easy shot for Maddie Land, but she misses it. Rigby with the rebound. 1 minute, 10 seconds left in the opening quarter. 7-2, Middleton leading Rigby. One minute to go in the opening quarter. Kinghorn with the basketball. Cree Phillips trying to get it inside, knocked away, but Phillips comes away with it. A little dribble drive offense from the Rigby Trojans as they're trying to make that Middleton defense work, and a cutting to the basket was Kinghorn, and she's going to be fouled. The Middleton faithful not agreeing with that call, but the foul was on the floor. Rigby will have it underneath their own basket. Taylor Simmons called for the foul, third team foul on Middleton. .40 seconds left in the opening quarter. Nice backdoor cut. That's Cree Phillips hitting Megan Olofsson. 7-4, and that's what you do against the pressure defense, is you look for those backdoor cuts, and that was executed perfectly by Rigby. 7-4, Middleton with the lead and the basketball. 20 seconds, Middleton looking for the last shot. Maybe not. IU off the front of the rim, no good. Cree Phillips with the rebound. 14-13, we're down to 10 seconds left in the opening quarter. Larson with the basketball to Cree Phillips. Three-point shot, in and out by Olofsson, no good, and here comes IU, her last second shot not going to fall, and that's going to do it for 1 quarter of play. 7-4, Middleton leads Rigby. But we'll step away for a quick message from our game stream sponsors, and we'll be back to Timberline High School right after this. Back to start the second quarter of play. 7-4. Middleton with the lead, but Rigby with the basketball. Pick and roll. Phillips now attacking the rim. Cut off nicely by Middleton, and she travels. Turnover to Middleton. 7-4. The Lady Vikings with the lead. This is IU with the basketball. IU with the give and go. Bad pass, or she would have had a layup. Inside, count the bucket. That's Maddie Land. And it's 9-4. And now we're going to have a Middleton foul. And those familiar with Middleton, is you can get them in some foul trouble because they are so aggressive. Inside, count the bucket. That was number 21, Courtney Neal. 9-6, Middleton with the lead. IU to Edwards. IU drives baseline. Her pull-up is blocked. That was Kinghorn with the block, but Middleton able to maintain possession. Edwards up top with the basketball. Hopkins looking for somewhere to go, and she turns it over with the travel. 9-6. Middleton with the lead. 6:50 left to go in the first half of play. Larson working against Simmons. Inside to Cree Phillips. And for Rigby, a lot of their offense rolls through that high post with Cree Phillips. This is Kinghorn, her turnaround jumper. She's going to turn it over on the travel. A whole lot of turnovers and not a whole lot of points so far in this ball game. 6.5 minutes left in the first half. 9-6. Middleton. That's Taylor Simmons. She misses the shot. Rigby with the rebound as we approach 6 minutes left in the half. Phillips. Shot by Olafson is good. Just inside the three-point arc. (9-8). Bree Phillips knocks it away and almost had the turnover. His head coach, Clyde Nelson, like, why didn't you go get it? 5:45 left in the first half of play. 9-8 Middleton hanging on to a 1-point lead. Undefeated Rigby against 2-loss Middleton. Simmons with the basketball to Lim. Lim to the elbow, back to Simmons. Her 15-footer good. Taylor Simmons. Taylor Simmons with 7 points so far. Now we have a turnover as Larson travels.
It's one of those unforced turnovers that pressure will get to you. She was trying to make a pass and then saw that she couldn't get it off. Ended up traveling.
Well, now Middleton with the basketball. 5:15 left to go in the first half. They lead it by 3. They're trying to get the ball inside, and they finally do get it to Tolek, but she turns it over as Middleton was trying to get that high-low. And now Rigby can't seem to hold on to the basketball. Jump ball, possession arrow to Middleton. As good as a turnover. (11-8). Middleton spreading the floor. Simmons with the basketball. Over to Maddie Lamb. Or Kendra Lim, rather. Lim working on Phillips. Inside to Lamb. In and out, won't go, but she's able to... Tolek able to track the rebound down. Maddie Land inside to Tolek. Here we go. 3-point shot. Kendra Lim, no good. Here comes Rigby. Bree Phillips at that high post, a place where Rigby loves to get the basketball. Phillips turns down the elbow jumper. This is Courtney Neal, and she nails a 17-footer, 11-10. Middleton by 1. 3:45 left in the first half. Kendra Lim into trouble, kicks it out. Here's a 3-point shot, no good by Hopkins. Rigby with the basketball. They can take the lead right here. Knocked away but retrieved by Larson. Larson to the bucket. She will be fouled by Kendra Lim. Larson will step to the line for 2 and try to give Rigby its first lead of the night. It's 11-10 Middleton. First shot, no good. Second shot, also no good, so Middleton clings to that 1-point lead. Three minutes and 5 seconds left to go here in the first half of play. It's been a defensive battle from both Rigby and Middleton. Middleton notorious for pressure defense and low-scoring games. Have found themselves a challenge with undefeated Rigby, who a lot of people think haven't played anybody. Maddie Lamb with a jumper, no good in traffic. Great defense by Rigby, and here they come. Middleton back on defense. Prevents the fast break. 2.5 minutes to go in the first half. Larson in trouble, finds Phillips. Olafson to Larson. Olafson with the drive. No good. Great defense by DeRay Tulloch as she comes in and denies. And to the basket goes Taylor Simmons, and she'll draw the foul. Clyde Nelson on the Rigby bench. Limit. Foul on the floor, so Middleton will have the basketball underneath their own basket. Offensive foul called against IU. That's 3 fouls on Maya IU. One of the big bench players for the Middleton Vikings has just picked up her third. 2:12 left to go in the first half. Middleton clinging to a 1-point lead. Rigby with the basketball and a chance to take a lead. Olafson with the basketball, gives it up to Larson. Back to Olafson, to Phillips. Inside, turnaround jumper, no good. Nice rebound by Cree Phillips. Her putback will not go, but she is fouled. Foul going against Taylor Simmons. That's her second, and Phillips hits the first one, and we are tied at 11. 1:50 left to go here in the first half, and we're tied. Phillips, second shot, no good. 11-11. Middleton and Rigby. Edwards and Simmons playing a little catch, looking inside for Maddie Land. She finally corrals it, goes up with the left hand and is fouled. These two teams are getting after it defensively. As both Rigby and Middleton came to play. First shot by Maddie Land is good. She'll get one more. 12-11 Middleton. They lead Rigby. 1:34 left to go here in the first half. Second shot, no good. 1:30 left to play here in the first half. It's 12-11 Middleton. Kinghorn turns down the jumper and then finally pulls up for the 8-footer. No good. Falls loose. Out of the pack comes Edwards for Middleton. Rigby back on defense. And Middleton will set things up as we approach a minute left to go here in the first half. We apologize for our signal being down. It's the internet. What do you do? We are subject to the facility's internet sometimes, and not much we can do about it, so bear with us. We're under a minute to go. Edwards cuts to the basket, knocked out of bounds by Phillips. Middleton will retain possession underneath their own basket. They lead at 12-11. If you like defense, you're in the right place. Well, correction. Ball last touched by Middleton. And we've got a timeout on the floor. And we'll keep it here as we've got some people back in Rigby that are on board with Idaho Sports. And that's Abbott's Variety Store. Looking for some of the finest deals on flannel, the framework in the valley? Well, look no further than Abbott's in Rigby. Steve Abbott and crew pride themselves on the best selection at the best price. Their wide variety of flannels make them the only place to shop, and with their custom frame shop, you can always find that special gift for that special someone. March 21st through the 26th, Abbott's is celebrating Quilt Week. with classes, demos, and top-of-the-line specials. Abbott's Variety Store. Why shop anywhere else? 120 East Main and Rigby, proud supporters of Rigby High School and the Lady Trojans. Okay, Middleton will have the basketball underneath their own basket with 50 seconds left in the first half, and they cling to a 1-point lead. Simmons with the basketball in the corner to Hopkins. This is Lim to Hopkins. Hopkins, three-point shot. Back iron won't go. Phillips with the rebound. .25 seconds left to go in the half. Rigby looking to take a lead. Jump shot. Draws nothing from Furness. Out of bounds, last touch by Rigby. Middleton basketball with 17 seconds remaining. Eight seconds. Middleton looking for the final shot. Hopkins with the basketball. Three-point shot by Lim. No good, and that's going to be the end of the first half of play in a low-scoring affair. Middleton clinging to a 1-point lead. It's 12-11 at halftime.
Hey, beautiful girl. No. You make the world a little bit brighter. No. Hey, beautiful world. You make this girl a little bit lighter.
Yo. Say no to empty calorie snacks by saying yes.
Yo.
To delicious, nutritious yogurt and spread the word.
Beautiful girl, how can it be? You're talking to me. Fresh out of high school and starting out, or looking for a new career. One thing in common, there's no doubt about North Idaho College, changing lives every day.
Get the training you need for today's careers through one of the many career programs at North Idaho College. High-tech training for today's jobs. North Idaho College.
Changing lives every day. North Idaho College.
One Saturday night, someone went through town slashing tires. Sunday morning, one of Andy Spencer's customers at Les Schwab went to Andy's house to see if he could help.
You got it.
Andy got in his truck and drove up and down the streets, helping anyone who needed it. He worked at it pretty hard most of the day.
That's all of them.
Andy didn't tell anybody no. He really went above and beyond his duties as a manager and a neighbor. I'm James Hamilton, and that's my Les Schwab story.
Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
You never have to travel far to find reasons to love Idaho. You'll discover granite peaks that not only take your breath away, but hold it for ransom. And when you live here, beauty like this is yours for the asking. Another unique part of our state that people have come to appreciate is Farm Bureau Insurance. It's not as scenic as Mount McGowan, but just as dependable. Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company of Idaho. We know Idaho. We grew up here.
Looking for the best value ever on high-speed internet? With Cable One, you've got it. Our prices start as low as $20 a month. Get all the speed you need for streaming videos, movies, music, and more. And if you're into online games, now you're playing to win. Plus, it's always on with 24/7 customer support. Cable One gives you the best speed for your online needs with prices starting at $20 a month. It's the best value ever. Call now.
John Peterson, November 1st.
Christina Nordberg, April 4th.
Joe Decker, January 31st.
Nick Padilla, 17 de septiembre.
It's not my birthday.
And it's not my anniversary.
But it is the most important day of my life.
It's the day I decided.
Cuando decidí.
It's the day I decided.
It's the day I decided to visit projectfilter.org.
Want to quit smoking? You decide when, we'll show you how.
Since 1904, we've worked hard to become Idaho's #1 hometown community bank. Visit your local branch today to see how we can help you realize your financial goals and dreams. Our family and your family, together, building strong relationships and building strong communities.
Massey Ferguson. It's not a member of the Scottish Secret Service. Massey Ferguson. It's not the name of a garage band from New Hampton, Iowa. It is the name of a hard-working line of tractors that you can see today at AgriService. AgriService has lots and lots of locations. Don't believe me? Visit agra-service.com. It's the internet. It's fun. Try it today. But do it now because you got work to do.
AgriService, 'cause you got work to do.
On the trail you ride, it's not uncommon to happen upon situations of failed performance. But if you've ever encountered a disappointing situation where performance has failed to meet your expectations, isn't it good to belong to the credit union that's rated as one of the top credit unions in the nation, where performance really counts? Westmark Credit Union, everything you need.
We're here with Executive Director of the Idaho High School Activities Association, John Billets. Thanks for joining us.
You
John.
bet. Thank you very much for all the work you guys do for our tournament games. I really appreciate it.
We're here to ask a few questions that are hot on the minds of our viewers, catching all of the state tournament action. And, John, the first question we have for you is you've been the Executive Director for 5 years now.
Yep, this is my 5th year.
What are some of the biggest changes you've seen in your tenure?
Well, I think some of the biggest changes that I've seen is the use of technology, the fact that you guys are webcasting our games, is provide that for people who don't have the ability to come to the tournaments and stuff. And really one of the changes that has kind of affected us a little bit is this economy, just like it's affected everybody else. We've had to step back, readjust, do some things that are different, but other than that, things have been pretty much status quo. We've kind of moved a little bit more under my tenure into kind of more of a technology age than we had before. So I would say the technology aspect is one area that we've kind of really moved into.
Well, and now comes the question that is kind of the hot topic.
Yes, it is.
There's always discussion this time of year about how brackets are drawn up, but this year it seems to have gotten a little bit more attention because of the way the teams matched up this year.
Sure.
In fact, in this year's 6 state tournaments, there are 5 first-round games where district champions are pitted against each other. And I'm sure you've taken phone calls, emails, addressing the situation. Can you tell us, everyone watching at home, exactly how the brackets are drawn up and then the reasoning behind the current system?
You bet. I have no issue with that at all. And we're playing the hand we were dealt. This is the way it has been for a long time. Not saying that's the reason why we're doing it, but when Bill Young was the executive director, he put this system together along with the board. I don't want to just say Bill, but along with the other board members, and they felt like that was a good system at the time. Some of the things that they were hearing was, work it so, for an example, let's take the north. If Coeur d'Alene and Lake City are coming down, they don't want to come all this way to play the first round of the tournament. So what we do is we do a random draw. We pull out all the A's from each district. So 1A, that would be the winner of the district tournament. 3A would be the winner of the district tournament, District 3, 4A, so on. We draw those, we put them in the bracket, then we go back and we draw the Bs. And I will tell you that if 3A is on the top of the bracket and the next ball we pull out is a 3B, we won't put 3A with 3B. Our member schools have asked us not to do that. They don't want to have their number 1 and number 2 teams playing each other in the first round or even in the semifinals. They like to spread that out. So, yeah, basically it is a random draw with a little bit of modification to it. It has nothing to do with who has been strong before in the state or who has so many state championships or what teams' records are or anything like that. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you can see behind me, but this is already for 2012. We've already drawn for the state tournament for 2012. We have a policy in place that if 2A teams have played, and let's just cut to the chase. It's Middleton and Rigby this year in the 4As. They're both A teams, and they're playing each other. Next year, it's an automatic guarantee that neither District 6 or District 3 will play an A team. Now, that might not be Middleton and Rigby. It might be two different teams. That's how we do it. We have discussions in this office all the time about ways that we can do things better. We've thought about seating, using a computer and doing that. The last thing that we really want to do is we want to take the human element out of it if we can. I mean, you know yourself, I can tell you that the big topics of the Final Four in basketball or the NCAA tournament is going to be the 65th team, the team that didn't make it, and why is this team seeded number one in the South, and this team, those are always the discussions no matter how you do things. I know my good friend in Oregon, Tom Welter, I know they've gone to a computer system. I've actually been in contact with Tom. We've been talking a little bit. He says it hasn't been perfect for him either. There's been situations. The things that could happen if we do something like that is we're going to have to forget now if Coeur d'Alene, Lake City come down and Coeur d'Alene's ranked number 1 and Lake City's ranked number 8. They're going to play in the first round. I mean, we're going to have to do those kinds of things. So, I think one thing that we've always found out is this is an ever-changing field. This is an ever-changing scenario that we have with athletics. We want to make it better. We're going to look at all possibilities.
Okay. And the last thing, and we have about 30 seconds left, is that there's a lot of people that put their time in behind the scenes to make this kind of tournament happen. Would you kind of highlight some of those things?
All of our, I want to commend all of our schools in the 3rd District and all those guys that are hosting. I don't want to mention any names because I'll forget one, and I don't want to forget one big thing. I don't know how many people know, but the United Dairymen are our sole sponsors of all of our activities, our state tournaments. They stepped up this year and gave us an additional $150,000 in funding, of which $90,000 that are going directly back to the schools, and the other $60,000 will go back to the schools, but in different ways. And also, they are purchasing a sweatshirt for every participant this year in every state activity, which is, that's anywhere between $180,000 and $200,000 for those sweatshirts. So kudos and thank you to United Dairymen of Idaho. They're fantastic. And I know we're short on time.
John, thank you very much for joining us. Hopefully this answers some of the questions that have been burning on our viewers' minds about the seating, what happens behind the scenes. So, John, again, thank you to the United Dairymen of Idaho, and thank you for all your efforts you put into this tournament.
You bet. Thanks, IdahoSports.com, for the fantastic job they do.
All right, let's go back to the game. Back here at Timberline High School, that was the interview we had this morning with Executive Director of the Idaho High School Activities Association, John Billets, explaining to us how the seating works and how the brackets are worked. And as you saw from the interview, the brackets are already set for next year, Mike. This is something that is not done on the fly, but rather it's done a year in advance. And according to the interview, they're not opposed to entertaining new ideas, as there are certain states around the area, Oregon for one, is using a seeding.
Yeah, my understanding of it is you kind of in a no-win situation there, and you got to pick. If you're going to seed, then you might get, Post Falls and Sandpoint coming all the way down here and meeting each other. And all of the people that have been polled over the years said they really don't want to do that. They want to come to state tournament and play some other people.
Yeah.
But if that's going to happen, then sometimes you get what we have here tonight.
Well, and that's just the way it goes sometimes, and you're not going to make everybody happy. The proponents for the seeding of the tournament, they want to go by the rankings set forth in the media polls, as they feel that is the best representation of the top 5 teams, and then you seed them accordingly. But the other side of that is, like you said, what happens if you get Lewiston and Lake City to come down and play each other, make the trip all the way to Boise just so they can play each other? And then how do you gauge a team like maybe Moscow, who has a sub-500 record, yet their losses come to a lot of the 5A schools up north in Lewiston and Coeur d'Alene and Lake City and a couple in Washington. So the argument will rage on, and tonight's game is adding more fuel to the fire, as we have got a dandy here. Not a lot of offense, but some stiff defense here. Middleton with a 1-point lead at the half. Yeah, you see the screen right. It's 12-11 at half. Points are hard to come by, as both teams are playing some excellent defense, but at the same time, both offenses are turning it over quite a bit as well. And looking at our first half stats as we get ready for the second half of play, leading the way for Rigby in the points department, Olavison and Neal each have 4, and then for Middleton, Simmons has 7, and aside from that, there's not much to talk about. As we get ready for 16 more minutes in what many people are calling the state championship game here in the first round. Rigby will have the basketball. They trail it by 1. Olavison, her shot no good, but the rebound to Phillips, and she chucks it out, and that's going to be a backcourt violation against Rigby. They'll turn it over. Middleton will have the basketball. Taylor Simmons, the junior, with the basketball. To Hopkins on the left wing, looking inside. She can't find Maddie Land, and back up top and nearly knocked away by Larson, and it looks like she did cause the turnover as it was last touched by Middleton. Great hustle by Larson. Haley Larson, the junior. Rigby with the basketball. They trail it 12-11. This is Larson. To Neal. To Kinghorn. Cree Phillips finding herself a lane into the basket and missed the shot. And then we've got a jump ball possession arrow to Middleton. Cree Phillips had a look at it and just couldn't convert. That would have given Rigby a lead, their first lead of the ball game. Rigby has never led, but battled back to tie it in the second quarter. It's only 12-11. So you got to think the first team that makes a run is going to have the upper hand. Inside, missed shot by Maddie Land. Rigby comes away with it. Nothing coming easy for either of these teams tonight. This is Kinghorn to Phillips. Phillips is getting many opportunities to hit that jumper, but she won't take it. Shot no good by Courtney Neal. Rebound to Middleton, and Middleton is on the run. This is Hopkins. Inside to Tulloch. She's got nothing going on. She kicks it back out to Simmons. Lim on the right side, looking for Maddie Land. She finally gets her. Her turnaround jumper in the middle of the key. Front iron won't go. Rebound to Courtney Neal, and here come the Lady Trojans. Middleton back on defense as Larson sets up the offense. Cree Phillips once again turning that jumper down. Olavison with the basketball to Neal. Back to Olavison. To Phillips. To Larson. Patience being shown here by the Rigby Trojans. Cutting to the basket is Neal. Locked out of bounds, and Rigby will maintain possession underneath their own basket. A little pick-to-picker action from Rigby. Middleton defends it nicely. This is Kinghorn. Her 8-footer won't go. Rebound to DeRay Tulloch, the 6-foot freshman. 12-11. And we've got a foul on Rigby. As going to the basket was Kendra Lim. She draws the foul.
Yeah, both teams are getting a couple opportunities at close-in baskets, but it's such a well-contested game on both ends of the court that nothing's going in. It's not easy even when you get that little short shot.
Courtney Neal picks up the foul for Rigby, her second foul on the floor. Middleton to inbound. Hopkins for 3, overshoots it, but Tulloch with the rebound, chases it down in the corner, and Middleton will have another crack at it. Inside to Maddie Land, and she's called for the offensive foul. Middleton is not happy with this one, and Coach Andy Jones is beside himself. Andy Jones, not a very animated coach, showing his displeasure on that one. 12-11, Rigby trails by 1 with another chance to take the lead. This is Phillips up top. To Neal. To Furness. And timeout taken, 30-second timeout taken by Coach Nelson for Rigby. We'll keep it right here. 4:40 left to play in the third quarter. 12-11 is your score. As we've almost played, well, we played about 3.5 minutes here of the third quarter and nobody has scored.
Yeah, it's 12-11, but it's not a boring game at all.
Not at all. The winner of this game will play the winner of the 8 o'clock matchup between Preston and Twin Falls. .440 left to play, and Middleton is starting to pick up a little bit of foul trouble. They've got Simmons with 3 and Maya Ayu with 3. Maddie Land has 2. 12-11. Middleton with the lead over Rigby. Larson with the basketball. This is Furness to Larson. And Phillips loses it to Tulloch. Middleton with the lead as we approach 4 minutes left in the quarter, and we're going to have a foul against Rigby. Allie Furness, the 5'8 junior, gets whistled for her first personal foul, second team foul on Rigby. Inside to Tulloch, she gets loose. Nice defense by the Trojans, but picking up the foul is Megan Olavison. And Maddie Land will step to the line. Olavison picks up her first third team foul against Rigby, and Maddie Land cans the first free throw. 13-11 Middleton. Second shot by Maddie Land is good. The 5'10 senior cans them both, and Middleton has a 14-11 lead as we're under 4 minutes to play in the third quarter. Long jumper by Olavison, no good. Middleton with the rebound. 14-11 Middleton. Maya Ayu back into the ballgame, finds Maddie Land on the penetration, and that was set up by Maya Ayu, and she was able to penetrate that Rigby defense and find Maddie Land. 16-11 Middleton. Rigby yet to score here in the second half. Phillips with the basketball. Tennille. Her shot no good. Phillips with the rebound. Larson fires up a long two. No good. Ball is still loose. Controlled by Middleton. This is Simmons. Ayu underneath the basket all alone. Her shot rolls off the rim. No good. Phillips with the rebound. (16-11) Middleton with a 5-point lead over Rigby. Rigby looking for their first points of the second half. And a near steal by Ayu. We've got another timeout called by Rigby. This one a full timeout, so we'll step away. 2:36 left to go in the third. 16-11 Middleton leading Rigby. We'll be right back. (16-11) Middleton leading Rigby. 2:36 left to go here in the third. It was 12-11 at the half, and now we're at 16-11.
And it was 12-11 way into the third quarter.
Boy, this is I tell you, points are hard to come by here. as both teams defensively are just getting after it. Middleton will have the basketball. They trail it by 5, 2.5 minutes left to go here in the third. Olavison to Neild, looking inside to Kinghorn, and they find her, but they're going to get a foul. Oh, they're going to call an offensive foul on Kinghorn. In the post, they felt Kinghorn hooked her defender and gained an advantage, so the offensive foul called against Rigby. 16-11. Middleton spreading the floor. This is IU with the basketball. IU and Simmons up top for the Vikings. You got Olafson and Larson defending. Middleton really patient here, trying to run some clock as we move into under 2 minutes to play. A little dribble drive. Step through shot is good by Kendra Lim. 18-11. Middleton starting to pull away, and with points hard to come by, Rigby needs to find an answer as they have not scored here in the third quarter. 18-11. Another turnover. Maddie Land with the steal. Simmons with the basketball. Middleton spreading the floor once again. Finds IU. IU pulls it back out. One minute left to go here in the third. 18-11 Middleton. IU penetrates. Jump shot from 5 is good. Middleton has built a 9-point lead. 20-11. And Rigby better have an answer, or Middleton's going to hang a goose egg on him here in the third quarter. Phillips has it knocked away and then finally fouled by Tulloch. Only the third team foul against Middleton. First personal against Tulloch. And Rigby will have the basketball. 35 seconds left to go here in the quarter. And Larson having all kinds of trouble with it. Phillips finally corrals it, but travels as she falls to the ground. .30 seconds left to go here in the quarter. 20-11. Middleton with the lead. It was 12-11 at the half. Middleton has scored 9 points this quarter. Rigby, not a one. 15 seconds left. Middleton holding for the last shot of the quarter. 10 seconds. Simmons. Inside to Tulloch. Tulloch, good. And that's going to do it for 3 quarters of play. 22-11, 1 a quarter for the Middleton Vikings. We'll step away from Timberline High School. We'll hear from some of our game stream sponsors. We'll be back. This is IdahoSports.com. 8 more minutes left to go. 22-11 Middleton with a 10-point third quarter hung a goose egg on Rigby. And they've extended the lead to 11, 22-11. Scott Burton along with Mike Savage and Kimber Hers on stats tonight.
Tell you what, Middleton did a nice job at the end of the quarter there. They spread it out. They were patient. They moved the ball around. Then when Rigby's defense broke down, they took advantage of it and got some nice, easy shots inside.
Well, Rigby needs to make a run here to start the quarter. As Olafson, boy, I'm struggling with that name tonight. I apologize. Misses the shot, and Middleton pulls the rebound. Still spreading the floor is Middleton. Maddie Land with the basketball, looking for IU. Finally finds her. And now Maddie Land drives, and she's called for the offensive foul. That's the third personal on Maddie Land. And the fourth team foul on Middleton. Middleton leads 22-11. 7.5 minutes left to go in the ball game. Kinghorn with the basketball. To Neild. To Larson. To Kinghorn. Olavison to Larson. That stingy Middleton defense causing all sorts of problems. Neild with the basketball. Finds Kinghorn and she's fouled. Picking up the foul will be Kendall Lim. Her second personal foul and the fifth team foul against Middleton. If Rigby wants to get in this, they may have to draw some fouls against Middleton and do it at the line. Olafson can't handle the inbounds pass and it's loose on the floor. Control, this is Phillips. She goes up for the shot and is blocked, but will be stepping to the line for two as Middleton called for the foul. DeRay Tulloch called for her second personal. That's 16 fouls now on Middleton. So if you're Rigby, you've got to attack because every foul from this aggressive Middleton defense is going to put you at the line now. And that might be the secret of getting back in this if you're Rigby. Phillips makes the first of her two free throws, cuts the lead to 10 and makes the second. It's 22-13. Middleton with the lead. 6:45 left to go in the ball game. You heard us right. It's 22-13 here in the fourth quarter. Middleton content to run some clock and pull out that Rigby defense. Tulloch battling for position inside. Phillips shutting her down. But IU with the basketball now as Larson works on her. Simmons and Olafson going at it. And right now it's just Simmons and IU just handing it off to one another. Running a lot of clock as we are at 6 minutes to go. Middleton with a 9-point lead. IU to the bucket. Draws the defense. Kicks it to Maddie Land for two. The lead back up to 11. 24-13 Middleton. Rigby just can't get anything going offensively here. As now Neild with the basketball, dishes to Larson. Nearly stolen by IU. This is Olavison. Front iron won't go. IU with the rebound. And she's ahead of everybody, just pouring it on, and she's going to get called for the offensive foul, and that's number 4. Your coach, Andy Jones, I'm not so sure you wanted IU taking the ball 1-on-4. But she did and picked up her fourth foul. 24-13, Middleton with the lead. Olavison for three, she got it! 24-16, and that was desperately needed by Rigby. Rigby down by 8. 5 minutes left to play in the ball game. Plenty of time for Rigby, but points are really hard to come by as Middleton is running a lot of clock here. At some point, Rigby's going to have to start taking some chances on the defensive end. Ball lost. This is Neild. Maddie Land giving chase. Neild to the basket. She scores. 24-18. Rigby on a little run of her own. 6-point Middleton lead. This is IU to the bucket. And we're going to get a block out front, and fortunate for IU that was called, I believe, on Kinghorn before IU plowed right over Phillips.
Yeah, she was close to picking up her fifth foul there.
Kinghorn going to get whistled for her first.
Rigby's dropped back into a zone defense now to help stop all that penetration. But the bad news about that is Middleton can just hold the basketball and run the clock out, so...
IU cans her first one. That's her 5th point on the night. second shot from IU is also good. Back up to an 8-point Middleton lead. 26-18, 4.5 minutes left to go. This is Kinghorn to Neild. To Larson. Phillips to Olavison. To the corner to Neild, and she traveled. .4:11 left to play here in the ball game. 26-18. And you can bet Middleton looking to spread the floor and run some more clock with Simmons and IU. They've been doing it effectively here in the fourth quarter. Olavison and Larson trying to step up the defensive pressure just a little bit. But so far it's not effective as IU gets to the middle of the key, and she's going to be fouled on the drive by Megan Olavison.
Yeah, Rigby's trying to stay in that 2-3 zone, but extend the two guards out for some pressure on the ball.
Middleton to inbound, underneath their own basket. Maddie Land drives to the hoop, and she's going to be stepping to the line for two, because I think they're going to get Kinghorn. They did. They got Caitlin Kinghorn, the 6-foot senior, with the personal, her second, 6th team foul against Rigby. So from now on, both teams will be shooting the bonus. Maddie Land makes the first one, 27-18.
Like I said, Rigby's trying to extend that zone out there and get some pressure on the ball handlers, but that's opening up that lane quite a bit. So if they can get Middleton can drive by those two guards out there, there's quite a bit of room to drive to the middle and get some easy baskets.
Maddie Land cans them both. Back up to a 10-point lead for Middleton, 28-18. Rigby went on a little run to close the gap, but Middleton has answered. Olavison to the rim, and she's going to be fouled by Tulloch. Olavison will step to the line for two. That's Tulloch's third. 8 team fouls against Middleton, and Olafson cans the first. 8 points on the night for Olafson. And she hits the second, 28-20. Olavison is certainly the girl that Rigby is going to look to go to here in the waning minutes of the fourth quarter. 3.5 minutes remain. We've got a full timeout. We'll step away. We'll be right back to Timberline right after this. Three minutes and 34 seconds remain in the ball game. Middleton holding on to an 8-point lead. It's 28-20. Middleton leading Rigby. Both teams in the bonus, and we'll be shooting free throws from here on out. The winner of tonight's game will take on the winner of the next contest between Twin Falls and Preston. We appreciate everybody hanging in there with us as we were experiencing some internet issues earlier in the telecast, out of our control as we're subject to the facility's internet. But hopefully we can stay online and bring you the rest of the ball game. 28-20, Middleton with the lead. 3:20 remaining, and Middleton content again on running some clock, and they've done so effectively here in the fourth quarter. Finally, some pressure draws a foul from Rigby. And so Middleton will step to the line. Caitlin Kinghorn with the foul, her third. And this will be Tulloch at the line, Maddie Land at the line for a 1-on-1. The in and out will not go. Rigby with the rebound. They trail it by 8. 28-20. This is Larson up top. To Kinghorn, to Neild. Shot from Brown, no good. Ball is loose. Shot by Furness, no good. Rebound by the Middleton Vikings. That's Taylor Simmons with a basketball. Under 3 minutes to play, 28-20. Middleton with the lead. Now IU. Finding Lim on the far side. Nice crossover dribble. Cross court to Simmons, to Maddie Land, trying to run clock. IU penetrates, and she's going to be fouled. And I think they're going to get Phillips for the foul, which means stepping to the line for a one-on-one will be Maya IU. That's Phillips' second 18 foul on Rigby. So if Middleton's going to win this game, they're going to have to do it at the free throw line. Maya IU nails the first, increases the lead to 9. It's 29-20. Second one on the way from Maya IU, the sophomore. Nothing but net. Back up to a 10-point lead, 30-20, 2.5 minutes remain. Rigby is going to hit desperation point here rather quickly. This is Neal. And we've got another timeout taken by Rigby. We're going to keep it here during this timeout, and we're going to make sure we give out some sponsor love. Back in Middleton, Myriad Benefits is a full-service brokerage firm in Idaho specializing in employee benefits. We are a preferred broker with all the major carriers licensed in Idaho. We service over 500 groups statewide. Myriad Benefits is a partnership of the professionals dedicated to providing innovative solutions, quality products, and exceptional customer service to meet the insurance needs of businesses and families. Visit us on the web at www.myriadinsurance.com or call 343-6107. Myriad Benefits is a proud supporter of Middleton High School. Go Lady Vikings. Thank you, Myriad Benefits, for coming online with Idaho Sports.
I'm also going to get a shout-out here. A shout-out out. Coach Parrish says, go Rigby. You are the best. Track team loves you. Finally got a little break here.
Olavison.
To get to some of those emails.
Olavison. That's what I keep hearing. So I'm going to go with that. Rigby with the basketball. 30-20. We approach 2 minutes left in the ball game. We've got to get some offense if you're Rigby. Olavison. Kneeled. Won't go. Rebound to Maddie Land. She clears to Maya IU. IU thinks twice about attacking the rim, and we are now under 2 minutes. The Middleton Vikings looking to advance to the state semifinal game against the winner of Twin Falls and Preston coming up next here at Idaho Sports. A minute and a half remain, and Rigby's going to have to foul if they want to even have a chance to get in this thing. And right now they're content on letting Middleton run clock, and they finally catch up with Maddie Land. But not after we reach a minute 26 left to play. The 1-on-1 is no good. And we've got a Middleton foul, and this is exactly what you want if you're Rigby, because now Rigby's got an opportunity to score with the clock stopped. Ninth team foul, so this will be a one-on-one opportunity for Phillips. She makes the first and she'll get the second. 30-21, Middleton with the lead. Phillips with her second shot. Also good. Cree Phillips, the 5'9" senior post, connects on both and cuts the lead to 8. Quick foul will now send Kendra Lim to the line. And that's the 10th team foul on Rigby, so now Lim will have 2 shots. Courtney Neald whistled for her third personal foul.
Have another shout out for the Middleton girls. Looking good, ladies. Keep it up from Michelle and Ariel.
First shot by Kendra Lim, the senior, is good. Back out to a 9-point Middleton lead. 31-22. 1:22 left to go here in the ball game. Second shot also good. A 10-point advantage for Middleton. Inside to Neal. Nice step through. Blocked from behind by Maddie Land. Middleton with the basketball and a 10-point lead. 1 minute left to go in the game, and it looks like Middleton, barring a minor meltdown, or a major meltdown rather, will hold on to win this. And right on cue, Taylor Simmons chucks it into the scorer's table. We're under a minute to play. 53 seconds left to go. Rigby down by 10. The three-point barrage has got to start, and it's going to start with Kinghorn from the wing, and she doesn't connect. And coming out of there with the rebound was Kenna Hopkins, and she'll be fouled, and she'll step to the line for two. Well, Mike, this one lived up to all the hype early.
Yes, it did.
But Middleton exerted a little bit of their experience and their dominance here in the second half, throwing a goose egg on Rigby in that third quarter.
And that's been the difference in the ball game.
Kenna Hopkins, the senior, hits the first of two, and it's an 11-point Middleton advantage. The second one also good, 12-point Middleton lead. And Middleton will advance to the semifinal game. Rigby will drop to the loser's bracket. Larson to the bucket, up and good. Timeout Rigby. 33 seconds remain, and we want to remind everybody that coming up next is Preston and Twin Falls, the final game of the opening day of the 4A Girls State Tournament. And Middleton looks like they're going to advance. They'll take on the winner of that game. Recapping earlier action from today, the first game saw Wood River and Mountain Home come down to the wire after Wood River had a 17-point second half lead. Mountain Home battles all the way back, but falls just short, 48-43. And then the second game saw Bishop Kelly beat Moscow 36-27. So in the first semifinal game, it'll be Wood River taking on Bishop Kelly at 6:15 tomorrow night. And in the loser's bracket, Mountain Home will battle Moscow at 1:15. Well, here we go. Middleton with the basketball trying to kill the final 30 seconds. But Rigby's not going to give up without a fight, as Kendra Lim now will step to the line for two. It's a 10-point Middleton lead, 34-24. And this was a 12-11 game at the half. And the story of the game was Rigby's inability to score any points in the third quarter. And Middleton extended that lead and led by 10 at the end of three. And you look back to the difference in the game, there it was right there. As Middleton now leads by 10 as these teams have battled evenly here in the fourth quarter. One bad quarter for the Rigby Trojans. That's all it was. Both shots no good. And IU is going to foul out of this ball game. That's 5 on my IU, the sophomore.
Yeah, that's too bad. That was an unnecessary foul. She just kind of went over the back there, and at this point in the game, there's really no reason to be contesting that.
Maya IU leaves with 8 points on the evening.
Because you're better off letting them get the rebound and take some time off the clock as they come down the court.
31 seconds remain. 34-24. Middleton with the lead. Phillips to the line shooting two. Stranger things have happened, albeit not many. But you never know. And Phillips' first shot is no good. Second shot by Phillips, also no good. And we've got a jump ball as Larson sneaked in there with Maddie Land to tie her up. But the possession arrow is to the Middleton Vikings. Hopkins with a basketball. And it looks like she's going to be fouled with 24.8. Correction, we've got a jump ball. Not a foul. Middleton not happy with that, as the obvious intent from Rigby was to foul. But apparently they did a good job of missing the player and getting the basketball. Possession arrow to Rigby. They trail it by 10 with 24 seconds. Olavison. Phillips. Kinghorn on the drive. She'll be fouled and she'll step to the line for two.
If one of those stranger things is going to happen, Rigby's going to have to get a shot off quicker than that when they get the ball down at their end.
Yeah, 19 seconds left to go in this one. It's academic. Middleton's going to advance. And Kinghorn misses her first. The second from Kinghorn. Is good, and the lead is 9. 34-25 Middleton with 19 seconds remaining. Maddie Land with a basketball, getting double teamed in the corner. And Allie Furness will be whistled with the foul, the 5'8 junior. .17 seconds left to go, and we're just delaying the inevitable here. As Maddie Land will step to the line. Maddie Land with 11 points on the night. Hasn't had the best night at the free throw line. And this one goes in and out, no good. Second shot, nothing but net. 35-25, 15 seconds left to go. Larson with a basketball, to the rim, lays it up and in. 7 seconds, and a foul with 5 seconds remaining. At this point, just let the clock run. 35-27. 5 seconds left to go. Middleton will advance. Rigby will drop to the loser's bracket, but will also experience their first loss on the season. Co-number ones battling it out in the first round. 2-loss Middleton against undefeated Rigby. A game that a lot of people were not happy to see in the first round. They thought this was the championship game. Well, I think the Preston Indians and Twin Falls Bruins, along with the Wood River Wolverines and the Bishop Kelly Knights, have got something to say about that. 37-27. And that is where it's going to end, as we have 1/10 left on the clock. And it's a matter of inbounding the basketball. They can't do anything with it anyway. And that is your final, 37-27. The game of the 4A tournament. A lot of people were calling it the state championship game and the game of the tournament to watch, but we've got a lot of basketball left. This one won by Middleton, 37-27. We'll step away and be right back to Timberline High School right after this. Post-game show on IdahoSports.com. Middleton and Rigby just got finished. Final score 37-27. Middleton will advance to the semifinal game and await the winner of the 8 o'clock contest between Preston and Twin Falls coming up shortly. Well, the tale of the tape in the last game with Middleton and Rigby. We'll just highlight a couple of leading scores for the Middleton Vikings. They were led by Maddie Land with 12 points, the only player on either side in double figures. Rigby led by Megan Olavison with 9. Well, like we mentioned in that final quarter, it all turned in that third quarter as Rigby was skunked. Middleton outscored Rigby 10-0 in that third quarter and turned a 1-point halftime lead into an 11-point advantage heading into the final quarter. And actually Rigby outscored Middleton 16-15 in that final quarter. So it's too bad that Rigby experiences their first loss due to just one bad quarter, but that's why they play the game. Rigby will play tomorrow at 3 o'clock, and they'll play the loser of Preston and Twin Falls. So we're going to wrap things up here and get ready for the final game of the evening. Preston and Twin Falls coming up on Idaho Sports. You'll have to find that link and click on over. Scott Burton, Mike Savage, and idahosports.com. We'll see you for Preston and Twin Falls coming up next.
Need a healthy, tasty snack? Say cheese.